friends, welcome to my how-to video. I am going to focus on using Microsoft Outline, Microsoft Word Outline. I picked this topic because it's been very useful for me in the lengthy papers that grad school entails. And it's something that I recently learned about and wish I would have known the whole time that I've been in the program, so that's why I decided to do this video, and hopefully it helps you to write all of those papers to come throughout grad school. So right now I'm just in a blank Word document, and I'm going to show you how to enter the outline mode. If you go up to the center of the Word and just click View, it'll give you all of these options below. And then just go ahead and click Outline, and that'll take you to the outline mode. I'm just going to make up a few examples based on a paper that I just wrote, just because it's what's on my mind. So this will start automatically at level 1, and so I tend to go through and either use a rubric that I'm writing or whatever else to set up my outline. And so I tend to go through all of my level 1s first, so that's going to be the big headers for your paper. So let me just, introduction, historic examples, current examples. And again, this is just basing it off a paper that I had just wrote. So that's where these ideas are coming from. And the cool thing about Outline is that you can go back in and change things around and change the levels. So it has all the different levels. I believe Microsoft Word goes till level 9. And the level names actually align great with the APA manual. So level 1 would be centered, boldface, uppercase, and lowercase heading, and then the paragraph's going to start below it, but the paragraph will be indented. And then if you go on to the next level, so as part of my introduction, I want to include my rationale behind the topic and an outline of what's to come. So then I can have those two noted, and that's going to be on level 2, and whether I use that or not just depends on how my paper is formatting. But then level 2 would be flush left, boldface, uppercase, and then the paragraph is indented below it. And so it aligns nicely with the APA manual, and it makes it easy for me to reference both of them. I can also work in quotations from here. So sometimes I'll start writing a paper and I have a quote in mind that I want to use. And so, for example, I want to talk about spoken language, and then I know I want to use a quote from one of our textbooks, and so I can put the author in there, and then I tend to put the year just so I have it for when I'm writing the paper. And then I can go on and put the quote there, or put it up with the author, depending on what I want to do. And then I can also add my thoughts on the quote, how it relates. And so again, writing out sentences, not just topics right there, but that's how it works for the outline, and I'll show you a more in-depth example already written next, but this will kind of just give you an idea of how to use outline. And then I have current examples of sign language and spoken language, and so I can go back and forth between the levels. So I want this one to be at the same level because I'm going to put signed language in there, and so I want it to be at the same level as spoken language because it's going to be a different topic, and this is these are subtopics underneath spoken language. And then I can look at my formatting, and so, oh, I see that in historic examples I went from spoken to signed, but in current examples I went from signed to spoken, and so I just want to make sure I stay consistent so I can actually move those things around. Or if I decided I wanted signed first and spoken second, then I can move this around, and it moves all of the subheadings underneath of it, which is really neat as well. Or even if I decide I want my proposal at the very beginning, then I can move it. Oops, that was one too far. But I can move it all the way up and then move my outline back to wherever I wanted it to be. So that's one of the really cool features. Oops, my fingers are getting crazy right now. Cool features of outline. So that's the basics of it. And I'm going to show you outline on a document that I've already written in. So this is a paper that I've already written in. Like I had just explained, you can move whole paragraphs around, and I find it really helpful when I've written my paper and I'm going back through and proofreading it, and I find that something might be a little better moved towards the top or moved to the bottom because I haven't discussed it fully or need to discuss it in more depth. Then I can move whole sections and it'll move all of the paragraphs underneath with it. I'm going to move this back because it's a paper that I've already submitted. Another useful aspect of this is closing or collapsing the subdocuments. So you just double click on it and it'll collapse it. So if I only wanted to look at the description of my problem here and then jump into what it would be like or how it's discussed in my literature review, it's way easier than scrolling through all of the text that I have written. Yeah, so that is Microsoft Word Outline. I like to use it for my longer papers just because it's easy to go through and move things around if paragraphs need to be moved, and kind of just get a visual for the paper as a whole. I have a hard time doing that when papers are longer. So this one's 7 pages in. So when I'm looking at it, it's easier if I can collapse things down and be able to jump between topics. And so that's been very helpful for me, and hopefully it's helpful for you to use throughout grad school. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email and I'd be happy to talk to you more about this feature. Thank you.